Hello, friends. Are you ready for weekly live Q&A? I am here and we've got some pretty awesome topics to cover. So just in case you have landed here and you don't know where you are in the interwebs, my name is Sabrina Gebhardt. I am a lifestyle photographer of almost 11 years, and I do weekly live Q&A here on Instagram to answer your questions. So I drop a question box on Wednesdays and everybody asks whatever questions they want, and we kind of dive in. It's always a mixed bag. It's always fast and furious, and definitely a good conversation. I would love for you to tell me hello in the comments. If you have questions while we are chatting, you can again drop them in the comments. But if you're catching this in the replay, send me a DM. Let me know what you're stuck on, what you need more of. I would love to hear from you and help you out. I really am an open book. We got a whole random topic list that we're going to cover today, and it's going to be so great. So thank you for being here. Let's dive in. You talk about finding the balance in the busy season, but I struggle because there is so much going on. Okay, I've got some tips for you. First of all, I get it. Busy season is insane, and it's all the things. Even if you plan really well, you are just pushed to the max. We are at our busiest time of the year in business. It is also a very busy time of the year personally, okay? We are in school. There are a ton of fall sports. It is football season and all of the holidays and all of the decorating for the holidays and all of the shopping for the holidays, and it's a lot, okay? So just take a breath and know that you are not alone, okay? So the first thing I want you to do is just, again, take a breath. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna get through this. I'm gonna give you some tools to help you walk through this, okay? The first thing I want you to do is a brain dump. Okay, I want you to literally take a notebook and write down everything in your brain, not even business. Okay, this is just all the things. Business things, personal things, things you're worried about, things that are upcoming, things that you're stressed about that have already happened, stuff that's going on with your kids. What are you gonna have for dinner? Everything that you have in your brain right now is adding some way or another to your overwhelm. So put it all on paper, okay? And this is gonna be a true brain dump, like an actual messy brain dump, okay? Some of it's not gonna make sense, and that's okay. This doesn't need to be color coordinated. It doesn't need to be pretty. It doesn't need to be organized. Just get it from here onto paper. And I do not want you to do this exercise digitally because there is some power to physically writing it out on paper. Taking it from here and letting it come out of your body and put onto paper, okay? So actually do a pen to paper brain dump. Once you have let that snowball go and every single thing is out of your brain and onto paper, then I want you to look over that list and I want you to put an X through anything that falls into one of these categories. If it happened in the past and you can't change it, cross it off. If it is happening in the future and you have no control over it, but you are worried about it, cross it off, okay? Those two things we can't deal with right now. The other thing I want you to cross off is anything on the list that is not urgent. If it can technically wait, if it can get pushed off, then I want you to cross it off, okay? So things that fall into that category. Writing that great blog post idea that you have, technically that can wait, cross it off. Making that Instagram reel idea that you came up with last night, cross it off, that can wait. Calling back your best friend, text her and tell her you need a week, cross it off, okay? Like things that are not urgent, things that can wait, cross it off the list. So at this point, the only stuff left on your brain dump list should be urgent action required items, okay? And I think what you're gonna see is that there's actually not that much there. We carry around so much that does not need to be carried around. Once you have made this list and you've crossed off the past, the stuff you can't control, and all the stuff that's not urgent, there's really not that much there, okay? With what is left, you are going to prioritize. And this stuff I want you to prioritize in order of what has to happen first to what can wait a couple of days, okay? And you're going to just put it in an order and start going one item at a time. And you're going to slowly work through that. While you are working through your urgent list, I would encourage you not to add to your list. Okay, so this is where I want you to really make a conscious decision to not book any extra last minute stuff, not say yes to any last minute stuff. I want you to just take this urgent list and work through that before you move on, okay? That is going to be the biggest thing that will give you relief right now in the middle of busy season. This is key for pretty much every photographer right now, okay? So I want you guys to hear this. The last thing I want you to do right now, when you are so overwhelmed that you can't even create a plan of action to give yourself some brain space and find some balance, after you've created this list, after you have removed all the stuff from the list that doesn't matter and all you have is your urgent action items, I want you to find an hour or two for yourself. I know, that's crazy. You just created this list of action items that are extremely urgent in the next few days. You can find an hour. I promise you, you can find an hour. Okay, if it's the last hour before you pick up your kids from school, or if it's take an extra hour at lunch, or if it's, don't respond to your emails until tomorrow and give yourself that hour. Whatever it is, give yourself an hour to be away from your computer, to be away from clients, to be away from your kids, to be away from your spouse, to be away from the laundry and all the things, and just go sit outside, go for a walk, go read a book, go to a museum, go to a coffee shop and listen to your favorite podcast or audiobook. Do something that is completely unproductive for yourself. Something that is just for you, that allows your brain and your nervous system to just chill out, okay? Then you can go back home and you can start tackling the urgent to-do list. And you are going to have so much more clarity and so much more control, and you're going to be able to get through it so much faster because you removed all of the stuff that didn't matter. You have a clear action plan, and you've given yourself some breathing room. Okay, that is going to make a huge dent in finding some balance for you in busy season right now. Do you send your clients any type of review form? Yes. I have a canned email that I send about a week after a session, and it has a link to my Google review form. And I just kindly ask them, I just say, Google review is really helpful for a small business, and it also helps my website and SEO because, the Google gods are all linked together. And I just say, if you could take a quick minute to write a little something, here's the link. I appreciate your help. I think the key there is to have hyperlinked your Google review form because you don't want them to have to work for it, okay? I'm not going to go on Google and type in and try and find if I have to work for it, I'm not going to do it. If it is as simple as a one-click type, hit submit, I'll do that, okay? So make it super, super easy for them. I want you to also make sure that you are utilizing your Google reviews. Those are great things to screen capture and share, or to have posted on your website, or to use the text in your email newsletter or wherever you want. That is great. That is great marketing material. So make sure that you guys are using those. I'm doing mini sessions in studio for the first time. Any tips for posing families in a studio setting? So first of all, it's the same as whether you're shooting outdoors or at home. You don't need to complicate things. I know it feels different because you don't have trees and grass, and I know it feels different because you're not at home and you don't have, a kitchen and a nursery. But working with a family in studio should be no different than working with them anywhere else. So if you have prompts or posing that you love with your families outdoor, those can 100% work in a natural light studio setting. So bring those with you. I would say if you are a lifestyle photographer, just remember to focus on play. It's really easy, especially in fall busy season, to kind of lean more into like the Christmas card photo. And sure, you can provide that, but don't pull too far away from what is your bread and butter. If you are a lifestyle photographer 365 days a year, you're still a lifestyle photographer right now. Okay, so don't forget to get those playful, fun images. And then the key, I think, with mini sessions is don't try to do too much. So if you have certain prompts and certain games that you are always doing with families, outdoors or longer 1 hour sessions, you're not going to be able to cram in the same amount of prompts and poses and stuff as you would in a fuller session because you've only got 20 minutes or 30 minutes, right? It's naturally going to be shorter. So based on the ages of the kids in your family, pick 2 or 3 great prompts, and that's what you're going to do for every single mini session, back to back to back. Yes, you are going to feel like you are a repetitive robot, but remember, each family is only looking at their images. They're not looking at everybody else's images, okay? They don't care if you did Ring Around Rosie with every single family. They just care how cute it is with their kids, right? So you're going to pick the same 2 or 3 for every single family back to back to back. That's going to help you not have to think so much because, you know, mini sessions are crazy and there's a lot going on and there's a lot of moving parts. You don't want to get tired at the end of your day and have that deer in headlights. What do I do with them? You know, if you do the same prompts with everybody, you're on repeat, okay? The other thing I want to say with that is if you are looking for help and you want to see somebody else work, I have a $37 bundle. It's in the link in my profile right now. It is a family in a natural light studio. You get to see behind the scenes footage of me playing with this family and photographing them. You get to see me culling the actual images from the session, all the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then you get to see their final gallery. So you get to see what kinds of images came from the session. It is available now. It's just a family session bundle in the link in my profile. You can grab that and utilize it if you would like. And then the last question we're going to do today is right after a session is done, moms are always asking me, when are my photos going to be ready yet? What do I say? So I'm going to go into 2 things here. I'm going to try and keep this succinct because I know we're wrapping this up. But number 1, that shouldn't happen because you should be setting expectations ahead of time. Okay, you should have told them from their very first email contact with you, and then their booking contact, and then their session prep contact, and every single touch point you've had with them, all of the expectations and all of what is going to happen in your relationship with them should have been spelled out over and over and over and over again. Okay, you don't want them asking. You want them to have that information before they can ask it. You want to always over deliver on the amount of information you have for them. This will not only set you up as a professional, it gives them trust with you, okay? When they know that, oh, she's already told me this and this and this and how this is gonna go and how this is gonna be expected, and they don't have to ask questions. They know to trust you and they know that you've got it. They know that you're the professional. So setting all of those expectations and communications ahead of time. The second thing is, this question was asked, so I know that those expectations were not set ahead of time. So if that is you, if you are not currently setting expectations with your clients ahead of time, I want you to just answer the question truthfully and firmly and hold on to your boundaries, okay? If you are so behind in your edits right now because it's busy season and things are crazy, that's fine. You just need to answer your question and tell them the truth. And don't try and sugarcoat it. Don't try and push your boundaries and push your limits. If you know that realistically you can get images back in 4 weeks, great. Thank you so much for asking. Right now, my turnaround time is 4 weeks. When your gallery is ready, you will receive an email, and I will also text message you to make sure that it doesn't go to spam. Just answer the question. Truth, and be firm and be realistic with your boundaries, okay? And here's the thing. Your timeline for delivering pictures can be different from mine, can be different from hers, can be different from hers over here. We all have a different workload. We all have a different amount of help. We outsource different things. Stay in your own lane, okay? What are you capable of doing? What is your turnaround? So just answer the question. If it's 4 weeks, if it's 6 weeks, whatever it is fine. But with every new client you have or every new session prep email you're sending from here forward, I want you to lay those expectations out clearly and explicitly ahead of time, okay? So then if you're sending out session prep things for next weekend, I want you to tell them, this is what the turnaround time is. This is how you will be notified, so that they don't have to ask these questions. You have given all this information up front. It's also easier to share that kind of information proactively than reactively. Because when a client asks us that question, we feel defensive and we feel like we're doing something wrong. And so then we might feel the tendency to lean into like, Well, I could probably get it next week, when you know very well that you could not get it next week. Okay, so sending that information out proactively and setting those expectations ahead of time, they're going to save you from pushing yourself too hard and pushing your boundaries when we don't have room for that right now. Okay, so that's all we've covered today, my friends. It was a great talk. If you've got questions about it, you can send me a DM. If you found this helpful, would you share it to your Instagram stories and tag me? I love to know when you find value in what I offer. I'm going to leave you with one last thing. If you go up to the link in my profile, you will see a link for getting on the Organized Photographers waitlist. That is my photography business course that will be kicking off in January again. Getting on the waitlist just ensures that you will get emails when it is open for launch. It is also going to get you some discount codes because there's probably going to be a Black Friday early bird special on it. That's all I've got today, friends. Thanks for being here. I will see you next week. Bye.